We're gonna move up and smite this dragon here, the paladin says, with a 9. Let me see if a 9 hits. It does not. Oh boy. Dragons? Dargans? Dargans. Dargans! Dargans! I don't know what I'm doing. Hello everyone, welcome back to House DM. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? How are you? I truly want to know what you've been up to. Like, tell me about your new campaigns, adventures, projects, new opportunities for growth. That's a good one. Tell me about it. Truly, there's a comment box like down there. Just, I would love to read them. I actually really enjoy reading the comments, so if you would oblige me. For those of you who've been concerned about where I've been, I'm right here. Well, I've been busy. I picked up a couple jobs, so I've been busy dealing with that. So today I thought, this is kombucha, in case anyone was wondering. So here it is. This is Narthrax. Narthrax. Dragon, created by Reaper Minis. Most of my miniatures I get a Reaper just because they're significantly more affordable than some of the other options until I get a 3D printer, which may or may not happen ever. So here it is. We're gonna go ahead and pop this open here. I'm one of those people that sometimes like to open the box very meticulously. Dang, that's a big dragon. Remember people, I am filming on an iPhone 8. State of the art film technology here. A tail, jeez, that's like larger than this whole Pathfinder dragon. Get some good rock here, and I get one arm. There we go. So I'm checking. Oh, look at that very tip there. No, I actually don't see any major mold lines. That's a wing. I don't see any. Wow. I wonder if it's because these are like the, you know, this is like a $25 miniature that they take extra care to do them really, really well. And then the edges of these wing talons. Oh, there it is. Found it. Found a mold line. There. That's so easy to like shave off though, so I'll do that really quick. It looks like it's on the outside of the wing here. Come on, iPhone, do your thing. You got one job. Yeah, see right there on the top of the wing. That is gonna be really easy to take off. And then we got the tail. I don't see any significant. I mean, this rock is pretty cool. Ah, all right. So this is probably gonna be the hardest one to get off. Right there, there's a mold line that goes right over the front of the jaw. That's gonna be one to. Oh yeah. Well, let's get to it. Let's do the hardest one first. That's what I always like to say. So what I'm doing here is I'm really carefully just scraping with my X-Acto knife on that section to kind of clean away the mold line. And what this will do is this will make it so that when I put paint on here, it'll not show this odd line that, you know. And this is not really that big of a deal for a lot of like mini, like tiny, like this isn't a big deal for mini minis. It really isn't. It's funny to say it like that, but it's not a big deal to small miniatures. You know, when they're sitting on the table and you're using them for D&D, like they're so far away from you that your brain, you know, fills in the gap and it kind of removes it. And by fills in the gap, I mean it removes that line from your vision. You just don't see it because it's so far away and it's so tiny. The reason I'm caring more for this one is because this was a bit more expensive of a miniature, and I kind of want to do this one well, so to speak. So I'm gonna take the time to do this one properly. Sometimes you can just slide under the mold line and cut it with the blade. But you gotta be really careful because you don't want to accidentally cut the detail away. Yeah, so see the horn right there? There's still a line there, but it's actually smooth to the touch. So if I feel it, it's actually flat there. And that means that paint will cover that up. Top part of that mold line, that's going to be really challenging to get off, but I am far from an expert in this stuff. I just kind of like, I don't want to pay the money for like the official D&D ones because I just don't think they look as good as like hand painted. But I'm also super lazy and I want to just play the game and DM. I care more about the story and the narrative than the than any other aspect. But I also really enjoy the visual on the table. There's a lot of people who I've played with now in my time as a DM that, you know, when I drop my terrain on the table, they're like, wow, I didn't realize how much more fun this game is when you have like a visual representation. And I'm like, yeah, you know, and you don't need that. You don't have to have like a ton of terrain and, you know, the whole works. But I remember walking into, you know, so many different game shops and wargaming tables and seeing all the terrain that they've done, and it just looks so freaking, it just looked cool. It was fun to observe and like have your brain be stimulated visually by these, you know, works of art. Oh, my hand's cramping. A lot of people will notice that I've been cutting towards myself. You know, when you're doing wood processing, it's definitely smart to cut away from yourself, but when you're doing something like this, you need every little bit of control over such a small knife, and X-Acto blades are wicked sharp, so that's why I'm literally holding the blade in my fingers. It's kind of counterintuitive, but alright, let's use this grayed up horrible makeup brush to get all the plastic out of there. Yeah, alright, look at that. Maybe if the camera will focus. Yeah, looks a lot better. All right, one down. All right, so I was looking at the body here and I don't really see any significant mold lines that would bother me. There's like a couple on the feet, honestly, that are like so small that I'm like, why even bother? Plus, I think this part is going to be on a rock, so you're really not going to be able to tell. You know, the perfectionist in me is like, just do it. It'll only take a couple minutes and some hand cramping, but I'm also like, who cares? It's just a freaking mold line. You're not fooling anyone that this stuff isn't real. I do see actually the point of getting rid of all the mold lines. You know, you're gonna put so much time and effort into painting something, you want to make sure that it looks good, or you want to, okay, well, not that it just looks good, but that you're setting yourself up for success when painting. I get that. I understand that. I get that. But some of these aspects, I'm just like, you know what? It's not going to be seen. Probably be covered up. Whatever. Though this part, I think actually won't be covered up, so. Alright. You can't even see on camera. What am I even trying to show you? Well, I'm just gonna fast forward this next part so you can just get to the finished product. So I'm basically, all right, I'm gonna use some of this Loctite polyacrylate cyanoacrylate. Hey, that's the word. This stuff will burn your eyes, so definitely wear some like goggles or something if you wanna not screw up your eyes. Alright, so after looking at this more carefully, I think the better plan is to glue the tail on first, mainly because there's like a pretty big gap. So here's how the back's gonna look. The back looks good, but the side there, I don't know if you can actually see this on camera. See, when you hold it like this, it looks okay, but that gap there, that's gonna be like, that's me holding it with full force. And on this side, you can kind of see this gap, but if I were to like twist it like that, it goes away. But if I hold it really tightly and turn, look at that. There's like a giant hole on that side. So, I don't have any green stuff filler, so I might just have to do the old super glue and baking soda trick, but let's see how it goes. Oh boy, that definitely glued on. Oh no. So this will happen if you don't use your super glue in a while, where it'll seal shut. Oh no. Oh yeah, you hear that? That's the sound of my failure to seal my super glue properly. Well, we're gonna use my metal chopstick. This thing has so many uses, and so far hasn't failed me yet. Yes. All right, get a little dab up in there. Sweet. I like to swirl it around to let it like coat the sides of the wall, just to make sure you get a good bond. Here we go. All right, it's already sturdy. Cool. Next stop. So I was gonna do the base first, but I think it actually is easier to do the smaller pieces first. So I think next I'll do the head, and then we'll actually end with the wings last. So that's kind of opposite what I just said, but oh, coming along. Just a wide open blarg. That'll fit a whole miniature, a full size miniature. We'll just chomp, done, game over, GG. Roll a new character. Just get that on there. Proper angle. Dang, that's ferocious. Man, I want to fight this thing. Sweet. Glue inside that little tiny gap there. hold this one in place because I want it to make a good, I want it to stick on there well. And by holding it, you're forcing the glue to connect with it in every aspect on the inside there. So like blowing on it's gonna make it faster. All right, final part. Narthrax, you tricksy dragon. He's like, don't you dare assemble my wing. You ain't just gonna film this nice and simply. Get those wings nice and sealed up. Right, and there we have it. Narthrax, fully assembled, mold lines and everything. I gotta put this on the wheel. Let's get that going. So this is definitely not a huge priority to paint this miniature. I don't know when I'm gonna have a party that is strong enough to handle an adult dragon. Getting there, almost there, not quite. Once the pandemic's over, we'll be able to hopefully reconvene and move on to something like this. If you found value in that video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit the like button so I can beat that YouTube algorithm and get up to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Otherwise, thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one.